I'd say about March 2023, I just come back from a holiday with my family and noticed a lump just here under the side of my jaw. No pain, nothing like that, no sore throat, no problems, just a bit of a hard lump. Waited for it to just go on its own. Discussed it with my wife, so should I go to the doctors? What if it doesn't hurt? Don't really need to go to the doctors. Turns out that's when you really do need to go to the doctors. But anyway, then I suppose left it about 2 or 3 weeks, went to the GP, and they feel around and stuff, and they said that they didn't think it was anything to worry about or anything like that. But there was a head and neck pathway. So for people with unexplained lumps or anything like that in the head and neck, there's a direction they send you down. So anyway, they did that. I had a message from Mr. Berry's secretary to say, can I come straight into the hospital? And I kind of knew at that point that it was obviously something needed looking at quite quickly. So I came in here with my mum in the room next door there, and Mr. Berry said, unfortunately, your biopsy's come back, and it is cancer. At that point, I had a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, so I just completely petrified really for them. And I think what made it more scary for me at the time is at that point, Mr. Berry said, your scans have come back and we can't see anything on them. So we know you've got cancer in your lymph node, but we don't know where it is. We talked about it and stuff, and he explained a little bit about it. And that at that point then was the first time that he mentioned it was P16 or something, I think they call it. HPV anyway. It's caused by the HPV virus. I never knew anything about the HPV virus other than it can cause cervical cancer and stuff like that. And actually, him telling me that, and the nurse explaining to me that although it's obviously cancer, it's quite a treatable cancer. So that was a bit of a lifeline thrown to me. It's a fantastic machine because they can get into really tight spaces and they can do things that they never used to be able to do 10 years ago. They would have had to kind of remove your jaw, all sorts of stuff like that. But so they go in and they take away some layers of skin, and they look and they do what they need to do. And then obviously we knew it was in my lymph node. So he said at the same time, after we've done that operation, we'll keep you asleep, and then we'll do a neck dissection. And I was inpatient here in the Heath for about 8 or 9 days. I had to have a feed-in tubing, so I couldn't swallow. And yeah, they found it, which was great. It was in 2 places at the back of my tongue, so they removed that part. It was at the base of my tonsil, so they removed that. And then they also removed 44 lymph nodes from my neck, from all 5 layers, and it was in 2 lymph nodes, not just 1. They caught it just in time because the 1 lymph node was like, they act as like a capsule, and it was ready to pop, and I was very lucky that they got it out whilst it was still encapsulating the cancer. You have the surgery and you don't actually feel much pain straight away because the nerves are gone, but then 3 or 4 days later when they grow back, it's like nothing I've ever experienced before. But they took great care of me and got me fit and healthy. I think the words they use is, we're going to throw the kitchen sink at you to make sure that you get through. And at that time, just focused on survival, aren't you? You don't really mind or care about kind of what it's going to do to you at the time. You just want to get through it. I had the chemo, and then I was having the radio, and it's a funny thing that the radio doesn't hurt, but every session you have, it makes you feel worse. And where my cancer was, it was right on my reflex. So it was just making me sick all the time. I don't know, 8, 9, 10 times a day. I started dropping weight really, really fast. And I was admitted into Vale a few times. They put a nasal tube in me, but because of the vomiting, I kept bringing that up as well. It's hard to explain how it makes you feel. All of my taste disappeared. All of my saliva disappeared. I mean, even drinking, everything just turned to powder in my mouth, and I was in a wheelchair by that point. I even rolled down the corridors to this machine, and was really starting to affect my mental health, to the point that, at the end, when I did actually finally get out of hospital after about 6 weeks, when I was going to see my oncologist, I couldn't walk through the hospital. I had to go round the outside of Vale and into the other side, because just walking down the corridors, I couldn't do it. It would make me feel, I don't know, I mean, they diagnosed me with PTSD from it, really. Cancer's bad, right, wherever you get it, but when it's in your face or your head, and you just can't get away from it, it affects your speech, your swallowing, talking, and I just found it so invasive. And unfortunately, at the same time, I got a younger sister, Sophie, who is about 8 years younger than me. So I said to her, look, I've got this. When was the last time you had a smear? She went and had a smear, and unbelievably, she had cervical cancer caused by the HPV virus as well, same time. And just really hit home what a devastating thing the HPV is, really, to hit us both. And I've seen so much stuff online about HPV, and it's just all aimed at women now, and I appreciate that it affects a lot more women than the men, but it does affect men, and it is devastating if it does, and there's just such a lack of knowledge and understanding about it that I just want to share my story with as many people as possible, so they take up the vaccine or check out any lumps, whatever it may be that they can do to help. I consider myself lucky, really, because I can eat, I can talk, and I mean, if I left it much longer, I could have lost my tongue, I could have, who knows, so it's the lifelong effect cancer has on you. Like I always say to people when they say, how are you and stuff, I say, yeah, I'm fine, but I'm a new normal. You're never the same person. I find that I'm different, but I'm all right. It's just a new version of me, really. Message to give to parents is the HPV virus is so prevalent. It's such a common disease, and I think there's a stigma around it as well, which there shouldn't be, and it is preventable with a vaccine. A lot of people can get the HPV virus and they can be fine, but there are more and more people nowadays that get it, can't clear it, and they're not fine. Just like me, you're going to go through a pretty rough time, and perhaps not survive it. Protect yourself, protect your kids, get the vaccine. I certainly will be making sure that my son, Maximilian, who is 9, soon to be 10, will be having it, and I will always advocate it. Let's get rid of it, let's eradicate it. I mean, it's one of those things, right, that if enough people take it up, then realistically there's no reason that it needs to exist, and that's one less cancer we need to worry about.